I was resigned. What would be would be. In any case, she's happy for the first time in months. Drunk, but happy. Not just squiffy? She's drunk? Don't be surprised, getting her own way is the only thing that ever makes her happy. Surely 14 years with her is long enough to have taught you that. Frowning, he cocked an ear to the porch as the woman who'd given him birth launched into a jarring but word-for-word rendition of Dirty McGee. Henry frowned at this barrel house ballad, perhaps because of the chorus. She was willing to help him stick it in, for it was Dirty McGee again, more likely at the way she was slurring the words. Henry had taken the pledge at a Methodist Youth Fellowship campout on Labor Day weekend of the year before. I rather enjoyed his shock. When teenagers aren't turning like weather vanes in a high wind, they're as stiff as Puritans. She wants you to join us and have a glass of wine. Papa, you know I promised the Lord I would never drink. You'll have to take that up with her. She wants to have a celebration. We're selling up and moving to Omaha. No. Well, we'll see. It's really up to you, son. Come out on the porch. His mother rose tipsily to her feet when she saw him, wrapped her arms around his waist, pressed her body rather too tightly against his, and covered his face with extravagant kisses. Unpleasantly smelly ones, from the way he grimaced. The conniving man, meanwhile, filled up her glass, which was empty again. Finally we're all together. My men see sense. She raised her glass in a toast, and slopped a goodly portion of it onto her bosom. She laughed and gave me a wink. If you're good, Wilf, you can suck it out of the cloth later on. Henry looked at her with confused distaste as she plopped back down in her rocker, raised her skirts, and tucked them between her legs. She saw the look and laughed. No need to be so prissy. I've seen you with Shannon Cottery. Little baggage, but she's got pretty hair and a nice little figure. She drank off the rest of her wine and belched. If you're not getting a touch of that, you're a fool. Only you'd better be careful. 14's not too young to marry. Out here in the middle, 14's not too young to marry your cousin. She laughed some more and held out her glass. I filled it from the second bottle. Papa, she's had enough, Henry said, as disapproving as a parson. Above us, the first stars were winking into view above that vast flat emptiness I have loved all my life. Oh, I don't know, I said. In vino veritas, that's what Pliny the Elder said. In one of those books your mother's always sneering about. Hand on the plow all day, nose in a book all night, Arlette said. Except when he's got something else in me. Mama. Mama. She mocked, then raised her glass in the direction of Harlan Cottery's farm, although it was too far for us to see the lights. We couldn't have seen them even if it had been a mile closer, now that the corn was high. When summer comes to Nebraska, each farmhouse is a ship sailing a vast green ocean. Here's to Shannon Cottery and her brand new bubbies, and if my son don't know the color of her nipples, he's a slowpoke. My son made no reply to this, but what I could see of his shadowed face made the conniving man rejoice. She turned to Henry, grasped his arm, and spilled wine on his wrist. Ignoring his little mew of distaste, looking into his face with sudden grimness, she said, "Just make sure that when you're lying down with her in the corn or behind the barn, you're a no-poke." She made her free hand into a fist, poked out the middle finger, then used it to tap a circle around her crotch, left thigh, right belly, navel, left belly, back again to the left thigh. Explore all you like, and rub around it with your Johnny Mac until he feels good and spits up. But stay out of the home place lest you find yourself locked in for life, just like your mummer and daddy. He got up and left, still without a word, and I don't blame him. Even for Arlette, this was a performance of extreme vulgarity.